Packers Nation. This offseason could completely reshape the future of this team. What's up, everybody? Victor here, and welcome back to Packers Nation Report. And today, we've got two massive storylines that are about to collide: quarterback drama and full-blown salary cap chaos. Let's start with the bombshell. According to ESPN, the Packers' backup quarterback is now expected to be signed as a starter somewhere in free agency. Think about that. A guy who stepped in when Jordan Love went down, completed 85.7% of his passes, threw for over 420 yards, added 123 rushing yards, and accounted for 4 total touchdowns in limited action, is now being viewed around the league as starter caliber. That's huge, and it puts Green Bay in a tough spot. Because on one hand, you love the development. You love seeing a player grow inside your system. But on the other, how do you afford to keep a backup quarterback when the market is about to pay him starter money? And that leads us straight into the second story. The Packers are officially in salary cap trouble. Right now, Green Bay is projected to be over $10.7 million above the cap for 2026. That means serious, painful decisions are coming. Cuts, restructures, veteran departures, and some of these moves could be absolute shockers. We're talking about potential decisions that could free up $20 million here, $10 million there, by moving on from players with massive contracts who either underperformed, battled injuries, or simply became too expensive in today's cap landscape. So today, we're breaking it all down. What it means if the Packers lose their elite backup QB, which veterans are truly on the chopping block, and how Green Bay can escape salary cap hell while still building a roster capable of making a real Super Bowl push in 2026. But before we dive in, only true Packers fans do this. Smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you truly believe the Packers are about to take a big step forward in 2026. Let's push toward 1,500 subscribers and build the strongest Packers community on YouTube. Alright, let's talk real Packers football. We've got some huge quarterback news that could seriously impact the Packers' offseason plans and, honestly, the entire NFL landscape. According to ESPN, Malik Willis is expected to be signed to start somewhere in free agency. Yeah, not just compete, start. And when you really break this down, it makes total sense. So, today, we're diving deep into why Malik Willis's breakout completely changed his future, why Green Bay probably can't keep him, and what this means for the Packers moving forward. But before we get into all of that, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to Packers Nation Report to help us hit our big goal of 1,500 subscribers. If you're a true Packers fan who wants real analysis, real opinions, and daily Packers news, you're in the right place. Alright, let's break it all down. How Malik Willis changed his NFL future in just 4 games. Malik Willis entered the 2025 season as just a backup quarterback. But by the end of the year, he looked like a legitimate NFL starter. In just 4 appearances, 1 start, Willis put together one of the most efficient stretches by any quarterback in the league. 30 completions on 35 attempts to 85.7% completion rate. 422 passing yards, 3 passing touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 145.5 passer rating, plus 123 rushing yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. That's elite level efficiency. And it wasn't just dump-offs or garbage time stats. Willis attacked tight windows, extended plays with his legs, made smart reads, protected the football. This wasn't raw Malik Willis anymore. This was a QB who finally put everything together. Why NFL teams are so excited about HIM scouts love his dual threat ability. He combines strong arm talent, elite athleticism, improved decision-making, playmaking outside the pocket in today's NFL. That combination is gold. Teams are increasingly building offenses around designed QB runs, quick reads, RPO concepts, bootlegs, and movement, and Willis fits that mold perfectly. ESPN analyst Matt Bowen went as far as to say he'll be signed to start somewhere this March. That's huge. That means league executives view his tape as starter caliber. Why Green Bay can't realistically keep HIM? As much as we'd love to keep Malik Willis as the best backup QB in football, it's just not realistic. Keeping him would limit his earning potential, block his career progression, potentially create locker room tension. And from a cap perspective, Green Bay simply cannot justify paying starter-level money for a backup, especially with the team already over the salary cap. Plus, letting him walk could bring compensatory draft picks, which are extremely valuable for roster building. So this is one of those rare situations where what's best for the player aligns with what's best for the team. Why his market will be strong? Several teams enter the 2026 offseason desperate for quarterback answers. And instead of overpaying aging veterans, drafting raw rookies, or recycling failed starters, teams now have a proven dual-threat QB with upside available in free agency. That's rare. Willis is expected to command multi-year contract starter opportunities scheme built around his strengths, and honestly, he deserves it. What this means for the Packers, from a Packers perspective, this creates a new offseason priority. Find a reliable backup quarterback. Jordan Love has proven he's the guy. But after watching what happened when he missed time, having a capable QB2 is essential. Green Bay must draft a young QB or sign a veteran backup or develop another athletic prospect because lightning doesn't strike twice easily. Malik Willis, a perfect Packer story. Let's be real for a moment. Malik Willis' story in Green Bay is exactly what we love about football. A player written off labeled a bust, given one more chance, and he completely flipped the narrative. He came in, he worked, he waited. And when his moment arrived, he delivered. Nothing but respect. Packers Nation, where should Malik Willis go? Now, I want to hear from you. Which team do you think is the best fit for Malik Willis? Should he go to a rebuilding team? A young offense needing a spark? A playoff team missing a QB? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. Now, let's talk about the one thing that will completely define the Packers' 2026 offseason, the salary cap. Right now, Green Bay is sitting at over $10.7 million above the projected cap, and that means big moves are coming. Painful moves. Emotional moves. Franchise-altering moves. We're talking about cutting veterans, restructuring contracts, and possibly moving on from some fan favorites. So today, I'm breaking down 5 moves that could finally get the Packers out of salary cap hell, free up a ton of money, and allow this team to seriously attack free agency. But before we jump in, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to Packers Nation Report so we can hit our huge goal of 1,500 subscribers. If you bleed green and gold, this channel is for you. Alright, let's dive in. The salary cap situation, how bad is it? The projected 2026 NFL salary cap is around $295. $5 million, up from $279.2 million last year. Sounds great, right? Well, not for the Packers. According to Over the Cap, Green Bay is currently $10.7 million over that limit. And when you combine that with major roster needs at cornerback, defensive tackle, possibly offensive line, this team must create cap space if it wants to compete. And that leads us to these 5 critical moves. Cut Elgton Jenkins, saves $19.5 million. Let's start with one of the hardest ones. Elgton Jenkins, 2-time Pro Bowler. Locker room leader, a warrior in the trenches. But reality is brutal. Jenkins moved from left guard to center in 2025, and he struggled. Then, he suffered a fractured fibula, an injury that can take up to 6 months to recover from. Add to that, he just turned 30 years old, he carries a $24.33 million cap hit if Green Bay cuts him. They save $19.53 million. That's massive. Could the Packers try to restructure his deal and move him back to guard? Possibly, but considering age, injury, performance, cap situation, this feels like a near-lock cut. Painful, but logical. Cut Rashan Gary saves up to $19.5 million. This one is shocking. Rashan Gary, once viewed as the future face of our pass rush, but his 2025 season was alarming. After posting 7.5 sacks in the first 7 games, Gary had 0 sacks in the final 11 games. 0. He also played just 58.3% of defensive snaps, struggled badly setting the edge, looked slow and worn down, and now he carries a $28.02 million cap hit, second highest on the team behind Jordan Love. If Green Bay cuts him before June 1st, gives $10.98 million savings, after June 1st, gives $19.5 million savings, given the need for immediate flexibility, it's likely the Packers move on before free agency even begins. This one hurts. But production must match pay, and in 2025, it didn't. Cut Nate Hobbs saves $8.84 million. This one is frustrating. The Packers signed Nate Hobbs to a 4-year, $48 million deal, hoping he'd become CB1. Instead, missed 7 games, required knee surgery. Played just 32% of defensive snaps. Made almost no impact. That's brutal. His 2026 cap hit is $12.84 million. If cut after June 1st, the Packers save $8.84 million. Considering Green Bay desperately needs reliable corners, availability, durability, this move feels almost inevitable. Restructure, Aaron Banks saves $10 million. Now, let's talk about one of the biggest free agent disappointments of last offseason. Aaron Banks signed to a 4-year $77 million deal, and he struggled. According to Pro Football Focus, ranked 66th out of 81 guards allowed, 28. Pressures pass block win rate, just 93.6%. That's not starter level for that price. His cap hit, $24.79 million, third highest on the roster. Instead of cutting him, Green Bay will likely restructure his deal, reducing his 2026 cap hit by around $10 million. This feels like the most realistic outcome. Cut Brandon McManus saves $1.94 million. This one is simple. Brandon McManus, 80% field goal percentage, 30th in the NFL. Missed 2 field goals, plus 1 extra point in the playoff loss. Left 7 points on the field in a game we lost by 4. He's turning 35, dealt with injuries, and clearly regressed. Green Bay saves $1.94 million by moving on. Time to draft a kicker. Or bring in young competition. Enough is enough. Total cap savings, the big picture, if Green Bay executes these moves, they can free up $60 plus million in cap space. That's a complete financial reset. That money could be used to upgrade the secondary, add interior defensive linemen, strengthen the offensive line, improve depth. This is how you reload instead of rebuild. Packers Nation, what would you do? Now I want to hear from you. Which move do you agree with most? Cutting Jenkins. Moving on from Gary? Letting Hobbs go? Drop your takes in the comments. This fanbase always brings incredible discussion. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to Packers Nation Report to help us reach 1,500 subscribers. We're building something special here. This is Victor. As always, go Pack Go.